Hey everyone, we need to talk about all these new 100% down loan programs that can actually allow people to get in for no money down. I'm actually out of town right now. If you can figure out where, look out the picture behind me. Leave it in the comments. Kind of give that giveaway with the picture. But anyways, I want to go over these new loan programs, how they can help, and they are really, really good. Now, with that being said, there are qualifications in all these programs to actually be able to use them. For instance, this was one that came out last year, was a 1% down loan program that was making the rounds on social media. And I got picked up in this National Mortgage Professional article where they basically quoted me with what I was skeptic about and actually linked to a video that I did about it. So one, just be careful what you're putting out there online. It could come back to haunt you. This lender wasn't overly happy that I was skeptical, but I was skeptical for good reason because there were a lot of qualifications that really limited the scope of the program and who could actually use it. So I always like to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. More importantly, I want you to stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to show you exactly how we're using it, not only to generate more clients in 2024, but to actually take some people that we had pre-approved or maybe clients that had expressed interest, get them off the fence because, man, if they were looking for an opportunity to buy, this is it. Hey everyone, this is Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker. And let's jump into all three of these 100% down loan programs or special loan programs and look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, so this is the disclaimers for any attorneys in the group, whether you're looking to buy a home or you're a real estate agent. Remember, this is just an overview. It doesn't guarantee that you can get one of these programs or qualify. The only way to know for sure is to actually reach out to me, get pre-approved, and find out which of these three that you qualify for. They're typically for first-time home buyers, and they're also typically only for primary residents. So great overview. Again, can't guarantee you can get involved in the program, but a lot of people, all three of these programs are going to be able to help. So let's start with the 0% down purchase. We're going to go over Hometown People. This is not that program. So this is a new one that just came out. It's making the rounds right now on social media. I see it everywhere. Literally came out in the last week or so. So this is where you have a second lien for 3% of the purchase price up to $15,000. What does that mean is that there's going to be a second mortgage that would cover the 3% down payment that you would normally be paying for this program. Now the second lien has no monthly payment and no interest. Second lien balance is due when the first lien is refinanced or paid off, whichever comes first. It's a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, no manufactured homes, and again for primary residents only. Now the other thing to note, so there's two ways to get into this program. So one, if you're not a first-time home buyer and you're below 80% of the area median income, you can actually qualify for this program. Remember, it's a 620 credit score or higher. It's only for people putting 3 or 5% down. So what is the area median income? I pulled it up right here. So you can see this is Seminole County. I also did Orange County, and they're exactly the same. So there's a tool I'll link to in the description that you can look up any particular area. But for most of the people watching this, and this is for a lot of the counties and areas here in Central Florida, the 80% of the area median income is $72,322 to qualify for this program. So that means you need to be making about $6,000 a month or less. That's for everybody on the loan. If you're not a first-time home buyer, and even if you are a first-time home buyer, if you can qualify under this particular way, it actually does give a little bit of a discounted rate in PMI. So that's the first way we'd want to use this program. Now, if you don't meet that, meaning you make more money than that, or there's going to be two people on the loan, great news is they actually have a second way to qualify, and that is at least one borrower must be a first-time home buyer. And remember, first-time home buyer is defined as someone who has not had homeownership interest in the last 3 years. That means you bought a home 4 years ago, you still could qualify for this program. Here's the key part though, you have to have higher than a 700 middle score or FICO. LTV must be, again, 90, putting 5 or 3% down, and there's no non-occupying co-borrowers. So again, this program is really, really good. $15,000, up to $15,000 that you can use to cover your down payment with maybe getting help from closing costs from the seller. You really could get 0% down. You didn't even have to pay your own closing costs. You're talking, this opens up home ownership to a lot of people. So what would I say? The good is there's two great ways to get in this program. The second way, with the 700 credit score, there's really no income cap, which kills a lot of these programs for a lot of people. So that's the good. If I was to say anything bad about this program, it would be this part here where it says second lien balance is due when the first lien is refinanced or paid off, whichever comes first. And why that could be a potential issue with this loan product is at some point, if there's no one knows for sure, I don't have a crystal ball, if rates were to get substantially lower from where they're at now and you wanted to refinance, it could affect the refinance. It also gets calculated into your loan to value. You really don't need to know that, other than if rates were to fall, it could make it a little harder to refinance. Now, that being said, for a lot of people, the biggest limiting step is, the money for the down payment to buy a home. And if you can buy a home with no money out of your pocket, take that money, invest it anywhere else, and get a better return than 0%. This is a really, really good program. I wouldn't use that as a reason not to do it, but I just want to put it out there that when you refinance this property down the road, you could potentially have to pay this mortgage off. Now, the other big program that obviously is coming back on July 1st is Hometown People. Now, you see here, I put Hometown Heroes because that's what most people know it as, but technically it switched to Hometown People, but I'm going to put Hometown Heroes here. And so I put it's back. Truthfully, at this point, it's not back. I did reach out to Florida Housing. They confirmed that it should be out July 1st. Everyone is acting like it is out. I believe it is coming out as well. But I do want to say at this point in time, at least at the time of the recording of this video, no funds have been allocated towards Hometown Heroes. So with that being said, it is, to me, the absolute best down payment assistance program we've ever had, and I'm going to show you why. One, instead of 3%, you can get up to 5% to a maximum of $35,000. That's better than the $15,000 the other program in down payment. And because it's 5% and you only for some programs need to put 3% down, that other 2% can cover a big part of the closing cost, really allowing you to get in for no money out of pocket, which is really, really good and puts a lot of buyers able to buy. Now, with that being said, too, it does have the same qualifications where the second mortgage becomes due and payable in full upon the sale of the property, refinancing of the first mortgage, transfer of the deed, if the homeowner no longer occupies the property as his or her primary residence. Meaning, if you turn this property into investment property and they find out about it, they can call that lien due. But again, don't pay it at closing. Let's say you got all $35,000, no interest is accruing, no monthly payment on it, and it just becomes due at some point down the future. Now, this is going to be the same thing on the other one. If you refinance it, could it come due at this point? Yes. There has been some talk that maybe Florida Housing would allow you to refinance the first mortgage and keep this in second and lower the payment. I can't guarantee that. So at this point, you do need to assume if you refinance this loan down the road, because rates are lower, you could have to pay this back. Now, the other thing with Hometown Heroes is you do have to be a Florida resident. You do have to be working at least 35 hours a week and be working for a Florida-based company. Interest rates, at least last time, and I believe this time, typically run lower on this program, so that's really, really good. Reduced upfront fees, no origination points or discount points. Florida Hometown Heroes loan is not forgivable, and there are income requirements, but much, much higher. So you can see I put Seminole County, $131,700, and then also in Orange County, $131,700. So that means that both people on the loan apps combined make under $131,700. You're going to qualify for this program. By far, best program out there. Probably comes effective July 1st. Unlike the first one, this does have a limited amount of allocation. It's usually they put $100 million into it. We'll see if that's what happens. It's ran out within 60 days or so. So that, that's something to consider, is this program is going to be available for a limited time. So if you're looking to buy in July and August, probably going to be available. Get into September. Now, it's fine if your closing in September has to go when you go to contract. Once you lock in your rate, those fees are guaranteed to you. So again, really good program coming out. This is going to help a lot of people. I don't know if they'll ever do another go around of this. It's an election year, which is my opinion on why they're doing this program again. But if you're a Florida resident, it's as good as it gets. So this is a really, really good program. Now, the other one, and this is kind of my most favorite one, this is the Homeready First program. And what this is, you can get a $5,000 grant that does not have to be paid back ever. In addition, you get a $500 credit towards a 1-year home warranty and a $500 credit towards appraisal costs, minimum credit score of 620. This is one of those programs, again, that has a discounted rate and PMI. Extremely good program. So how it works is, this is where this is unique. Borrowers' current primary residence, meaning where you live now, must be located in an eligible census tract. The eligible areas I put here are Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater. And what we did is so you put the address in, and you would have to call me for this so we could look at where your address is, or call a participating lender. We type in your address, and it lets us know if you're eligible for these funds. So if you're eligible, it means you can buy a house anywhere in Florida, potentially put 3% down, get $5,000 towards that down payment and closing costs, and you never have to pay it back. So the first two programs are great. Could get you in for way less money, maybe even zero, but you are going to have to pay those funds back at some point down the road. Again, great way to become a homeowner, second lien with no interest and no payments, but this one is a grant, meaning you don't pay it back. So this is a really, really good program. We've done quite a few of these. So those are the three programs that are available right now. So if you're a homeowner, home buyer wanting to buy a home this summer, there are so many options. You want to reach out. Now, with that being said, if you're a real estate agent, obviously, like me, I'm in the real estate business as a mortgage person. We want to get this, word of mouth out there of this program. There's going to be so much noise on social media. So one, we have some graphics that we can share with you if you want to post on social media on all three of these programs. But I think that is the least of the three things that you want to do. But yes, by all means do it. But so many people are going to do it. What would I do, or what are we doing? So one, I would text people that are leads, anyone that you've had that said that maybe they'd want to buy a house. And here's the text. It's super simple. Hi, client. We just had 3 new loan programs that could possibly cover your entire down payment and closing costs. Are you still thinking of buying a home this year? That's all you need to say. And you can mass text that out to 15, 20 people a day or more, and you are going to get a good response from that. We are, for sure. You can just verbally tell people about this, and people are going to be interested in this program. And that is the way to use this. You want to reach out into your database and generate people. Now, here's what you don't want to do. If somebody calls you or texts you and says, I want some information, to me, the last thing I would do if I was a real estate agent would be start going back to this video and going over all the different ways they can qualify. If you're a real estate agent, you want the client to take the next step, which is to get pre-approved and find out if they qualify, and if they qualify for one of these programs. The way to handle this, in my opinion, would be to simply say, I'm going to have someone reach out to you, go over these programs. They're really, really good, and I think it can make a big difference for you. Then let us, hopefully me, but whoever you work with, I'd like to volunteer for that position, but have them reach out and cover this stuff, because then they're going to get excited. They're going to say things to me that they're not going to say to you. And more importantly, there are so many different ways to qualify for these programs. You're not going to be able to guide them to the correct way. So do a text, do a social media post, but more importantly, here's what I would do. Call these leads, call your past clients. I've already called about 5 people, just as a random experiment. 1 out of the 5 already said they had someone in their household, their son, that would be interested in this program. So if you're looking for an opportunity to reach out to your database, your past clients, it's never been a better time. Use this to generate more business in 2024. Just don't post it on social media. Get proactive, get some business. That's where the money's at. Hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly. I'd love to help. As more information becomes available that moves the market, as always, I'm going to cover right here. This is Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker. Like the video if you thought it was helpful. Leave any comments that you think if you have any questions about the actual programs. Have a great day, great week. I'll talk to you soon.